It's amazing. The Nationals guys have a 7-game lead in the East, and this guy isn't even firing on all cylinders. As you take a look at Bryce Harper and what's happened first in the month of April, which was off the charts.
Slugging.
The slugging percentage. It goes back to that first series with the Cubs in early May.
It does, friend.
And Joe Madden walked him 13 times, and then he's been a different guy ever since, Byrnes.
He has, and I talked to FP Santangelo a lot. He's a real good friend of mine. He's a color commentator for the Washington Nationals.
Yep.
And it's pretty evident. You can see. And it was funny because when I asked him what's going on with Harper, he's like, dude, just look. Like, you can't miss it. And he's right. And he's spinning off the baseball. And part of it, and you have to understand, this is how Bryce Harper hits, right? He has more torque in that swing. You watch it. Those are some of the quickest, most violent hits you've ever seen. But because they're so quick, you've got to be careful that he just pulls himself right out of these at-bats. When he's going right, he has the ability to wait such an immense amount of time. And you see right here where he's getting frustrated. This is 2015.
Similar swing.
Let's take a look, though, about Bryce Harper. What's really missing?
I love the history of the game. I understand the history of the game. I look back at those generations and I see the guys that have played before me, and I respect that tremendously. But I want the game to change for the better. I want the emotion. I want to see the emotion, the fire, the intensity.
That's what I want to see with Bryce Harper. I want to see that fire. And I get it. It's a lot easier to do when you're hitting 330 and you have an OPS over 1,000. You're hitting 42 tanks. I got it.
Game's fun.
But still, you know this as well as I do. You got to be the same guy day in and day out. And I can see now from what I've watched, he's getting frustrated. And it's eating at him a little bit. And he's not necessarily that same overconfident guy that wants to make baseball fun again because he's frustrated right now. So two things, the two pieces of advice that I would give to Bryce Harper. Number one, trust yourself. Trust your swing. Dude, there's nothing wrong. Everything's there. It's just when I see those hips fly out and he has nothing left here, you have the quickest hips in Major League Baseball. It's not even close. You have the ability to wait such a long time, let that ball travel so deep. Go ahead and do it. And part of that is confidence. Yeah. Having the confidence to let that ball travel. Then the other thing is, dude, be the dude you are. Yeah, the Bryce Harper that we saw, the showmanship, that's him. That's who he is. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Don't let your play on the field take that away from you. You're going to be that guy. Be that guy 100% of the time.
I like it. Be the dude you are. I like it.
Chipper Jones told me one time, he said, D-Row, when you're struggling, just mix in a walk. To turn your 0 for 4s into 0 for 3s. Save yourself 20 or 30 at-bats when you're scuffling. That's what I would tell Bryce. Start keyholing a little more. No one's going to miss over the middle of the plate to you because no one behind you is instilling that much fear that they'll just work around him, even though he's scuffling.
Right.
Even though he's got a 366 slugging percentage his
he
last 80 games.
But he leads the majors in walks.
Right? It's crazy.
So, right.
I'm going to dive in a little deeper. I mean, it's pretty obvious on tape what he's fundamentally doing wrong. But like you said, from the minute I saw him in 2012, he has a lot of moving parts in that swing. And when it times up, he wins a unanimous MVP. And when it doesn't time up, the front hip goes flying, front shoulder goes flying. It'll only take one swing. I think he goes up to the plate not knowing the game plan right now. Am I going to get pitched to? Am I not going to get pitched to? I think he just has to grind out at bats, shrink the zone even further than he's done.